Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a knife that I could have sworn I had already done a video on, but I came across the knife today, and in going through, looking at my past videos, I noticed that I never did a review on it. And I wanted to go ahead and show it off because I think it's such a unique and interesting knife. This is by a company called Shieldon, and this is the Scythe. I actually saw a bunch of videos last year on this knife where people were getting it and showing it off and stuff like that, and I decided to ask for it from my wife as a Christmas present, and she got it for me for Christmas. And I carried it a little bit. I put it back in the box because I was going to do a video and never did the video on it. So here is my video on it after several months of actually not seeing it. I wanted to go ahead and show it off for you guys because, again, I think it's such an interesting looking knife. Now, again, this is called the Scythe from Shieldon. This is the box that it comes in. It gives you some information on the bottom right here. It tells you that the designer is DC Blades. Blade steel is 154 cm, and it's got a handle that's micarta and G10, which was pretty interesting. The weight is very, very light, 2.1 ounces, and the finish on the blade is stone washed. So as you open up the box, it actually comes with a nice little sheath, which I was not expecting. I would probably never carry it in the sheath, but the sheath is actually very, very nice in comparison to some of the sheath that come with other knives and flashlights and things like that. It's actually designed to be able to carry it, so you can slide your belt through there, or it's got a button you can take it off and put it onto the belt. There's Velcro in the front. I do like the fact that it's black with blue stitching on it, and it's got the Shieldon logo right there, which is really nice. But inside is the knife itself. Now, you do get a pocket clip with the knife, and that's why I said I would probably never carry it in the sheath, just because the sheath is just going to make it a lot bulkier, and the knife is already so small and lightweight that why would you want to carry it in a sheath? But the fact that they include it is pretty cool. So I put it right back in the bag so you guys can see what it looks like, and here it is. So at first glance, you can see that blade kind of protruding from the handle there, which is a very odd look, but I can tell you that the handle itself is designed very, very ergonomically, very comfortable, and the whole blade, the whole cutting edge of the blade, I should say, is actually housed inside of the handle, which is really, really nice. So taking a look at the handle itself first, you have the Shieldon logo right there covering the pivot screw, which is pretty nice. Again, the handle is a composite, it's both micarta, so it's nice and grippy as micarta should be, and then it has a G10 backspacer, color matched to the handle itself, which is pretty nice. Now I can tell you that this is the base model, and when I say base model, they actually have other models with different steels and different handle materials and stuff like that, but this is pretty much the base model. So this is number DC01A. So it's maybe the first one that they came out with, but again, this is the base model. So again, it's a nice black micarta handle. I like micarta. I just love the way that it feels in the hand, and it's nice and grippy. And then you do get a nice deep ride wire clip. Again, that's the clip is part of the reason why it's so light. Wire clips tend to not weigh too much, which is really nice. It is tip up. It does come right side carry, but you can also switch it over and carry it left side as well. As you guys can see, it is a flipper mechanism, so you do have a flipper tab right there. The flipper tab is actually pretty large in comparison to the size of the handle and the size of the knife itself, and then you get some jimping on there to be able to deploy the blade. So speaking of the blade, I'm going to go ahead and use that flipper to deploy it. Check out this blade. Wow, check that out. Very, very interesting blade shape. This was a first for me. This blade shape is actually called Pikal. I want to say that's how you say it, P-I-K-A-L. And it's not a hawkbill blade. If you guys are familiar with hawkbill, those have a little bit more of a curvature. This is, it kind of comes up and it straightens out. So it's a very interesting ergonomics on the blade as they relate to the handle itself. As far as when the blade is deployed, I can tell you the handle is very, very comfortable, and it's just because of that shape. It's almost like an hourglass shape, so it feels really, really nice in the hand. You do get a lot of jimping on the back of the blade here because you want to make sure that you have a nice secure grip on this, because that is a very, very aggressive blade. Again, blade steel is 154 cm, so it's got really nice cutting capabilities. And let me tell you, it is razor sharp. You do not want to inadvertently cut yourself with that blade. The jimping on the flipper tab actually acts like a little bit of a stopper for your finger down there, so you definitely do not want to have your finger right up on that blade, because it does also come to a super aggressive tip right there. Let me show you guys. Look how thin the blade stock is behind where that tip is. So perfect for piercing, slashing. This is one of those blades that even though at first glance you can tell that it's got a particular design behind it, you could easily see it used for self-defense and stuff like that. You can also use it for EDC purposes, just depending on what it is that you're going to be using it for. But obviously, the design of this blade has, one particular design to begin with, and that is probably for self-defense and, maybe tactical reasonings and stuff like that. So you do get the 154 cm, 154 cm stamp on the blade right there. And then on the opposite side, you have the DC Blades logo, who are the designers of the knife itself. And then you have the name, which is the Scythe. Now, obviously, as you guys know, Scythe is a reference to the weapon that the Grim Reaper carries. So obviously, you guys can see where that inspired this whole blade design right here. It is a liner lock right in there, but the liner lock is nice and hidden, so you could barely see it, but you do have a little bit of a cutout on the scale right there, or on the handle, so you can actually access it very nicely, and it does secure really nice, perfectly centered. And again, I'm going to go ahead and deploy it. When you deploy this blade, you know it's coming out. It flies out and snaps closed, which is really nice. No blade plate, up, down, left, right, nothing. So nice and secure, which is the way this particular knife should be. You have a lot of different options as far as how you can hold on to the blade. You can just hold on to it, and then my thumb automatically wants to come up here, which is, what I would want. If you did want to maybe ride up a little bit for more intricate cuts, like scoring cuts and stuff like that, that is perfect to do that. You can actually bring your finger right up there to do that. You can actually hold it in this reverse angle if you needed to rip something, like maybe you're ripping through zip ties or like packaging material or something like that. You can actually do that in reverse. You can also hold it as well, and you can hold it in both orientations on the blade, so facing out or facing in. So obviously, depending on what you're going to be doing with this particular knife, obviously, you want to make sure that you are properly trained and confident in what you're doing, because again, the last thing you want to do is to have that blade make contact with any part of your body. But again, when you do close it down, it is nice and secure right inside of the handle. As you can see, the knife itself, the footprint with its closed, it's very small, about 3.5 inches long in its closed position. And then overall, you're looking at about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches just about on the open position. So very small knife, very lightweight, very easy to carry. I can tell you that. It carries very nice in the pocket. Again, depending on what you're going to be doing with this knife, I've mainly been carrying it as kind of like a secondary EDC, just to test it out and things like that. And just because I want to preserve the the sharpness of the blade. I don't want to do too much, because again, that tip is so thin. I could easily see if I do any type of heavy usage on this, it'll definitely break, and then you won't have that really cool Pikal blade shape look to it. So just one thing to note. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave the link for Shieldon's website below. You guys can go ahead and check it out. Like I mentioned, this is probably their starting point model. There are other models with different blade materials, different handle materials and things like that. So if you like the way that this looks and it's something you might want to, you might be interested in picking up, go ahead and check out that link below and see what they have to offer. But I wanted to go ahead and showcase that. I thought I had done the video on it, and lo and behold, I did not. So this is my redemption on the Scythe from Shieldon. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.